and welcome to Graphic Online News in Brief. In the headlines, Parliament vests Special Prosecutor nominee Kissi Agyebeng. Finance Minister swerves Parliament over cost of President Akufo-Addo's foreign travels. Meanwhile, members of the Minority Caucus in Parliament say they are disappointed with the Finance Minister's response. Trial of officials of defunct Capital Bank adjourned to July 29. And second autopsy reveals 14-year-old student in Sunyani died from hanging. News in Brief is brought to you by...
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
And now the news in brief. Parliament's Appointment Committee on Thursday interrogated the man nominated to be Ghana's next Special Prosecutor, Kissi Agyebeng. The practicing lawyer will become the country's second Special Prosecutor if he is approved, since the setting up of the office in 2017.
Kissi Agyebeng's nomination follows the resignation of Martin A.B.K. Amidu, the first person to occupy the Special Prosecutor position on November 15, 2020. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is tasked to investigate and prosecute corrupt deals under the Public Procurement Act 2003 Act 663 and the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29. During his vetting, Mr. Agyebeng vowed to make corruption a high-risk activity.
My strategy is that I'm not naive to assume that I'm coming to stop corruption. There is no way I can stop corruption. God himself will not even acclaim to that. But I am going to make corruption very costly, very, very costly to engage in terms of conflict of interest. First, I'm going to institute what I call pressure for progress. I'm going to institute systemic reviews of public sector institutions and the development of integrity plans. And here, this is what I intend to do. But why can't we have our own corruption perceptions index, for instance? Why can't I rank public sector agencies against each other? And at the end of the year, publicize the results as to which institution is performing well and which institution is not performing well.
Still in Parliament, Finance Minister Kenoforiata on Wednesday failed to tell how much President Akufo-Addo's foreign travels cost the nation. He told Parliament that the best institution to provide how much the President travels cost is the Office of the National Security.
Mr. Foriata was invited to answer the urgent question filed by the Member of Parliament for North Dong, Mr. Samuel Ekujuto-Ablakwa. The MP wanted details of the cost of the President's recent official travels after it emerged President Akufo-Addo prefers chartered private jets, which allegedly cost a fortune per trip.
As I indicated in my response to the question from Honorable Samuel Ekujuto-Ablakwa, the air travel for the President, including the cost for the advanced team, flight arrangement, security, accommodation, and air tickets, are coordinated operationally between the Office of the Government Machinery and National Security Secretariat. Mr. Speaker, as I stated earlier, the President's domestic and international travels are matters to do with national security. The National Security Minister is best placed to furnish this Honorable House with the details that are needed.
The minority spokesperson on finance, Kissi Agyebeng, says it is unacceptable and unfair for the Finance Minister to tell Parliament he could not provide the information. Nonetheless, he said Samuel Ekujuto-Ablakwa will follow up on the issue by filing another urgent question to national security.
For the minister to appear before us and refer the matter again to the minister responsible for national security and the chief of staff, we find it unacceptable. We urge our minister responsible for finance to come back once again to revisit the powers that he has, because he has every power. He's the supervising minister for all financial matters in this country. So it is very unfair for him to have come to Parliament and made a categorical statement that he's not in a position to provide us that information. You know what this means? It is an attempt by the government of the day the President Akufo-Addo Bawumia government to hide behind technicalities, to hide their opulence. That is what it is. They're only hiding behind technicalities, not to provide information to the people of Ghana. But you see, we are not ending there. My colleague, Honorable Sam Ablakwa, in fact, is going to ask another question, and we expect the Minister for National Security to come and to give us that details.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alex Apenyo-Markin, who also spoke to the press, indicated that the government had nothing to hide, urging the minority to go ahead and utilize the parliamentary platform to file another question to the National Security Minister.
The honorable MPs who asked this question would have to now utilize a parliamentary platform under our rules to file questions specifically to the National Security Minister to come and provide the details. Our rules are clear that ministers answer questions that are under their official line of duty. It must also be emphasized that all the supplementary questions by Honorable Ablakwa were overruled by Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker had the occasion to call him to order. So for him to come out to raise issue that has to do with lack of transparency is neither here nor there.
The Commercial Division of the Accra High Court has adjourned to July 29 the trial of William Atu Essien, founder of the defunct Capital Bank, and two others accused of stealing depositors' funds. The other two accused of the crime are Fitzgerald Dodonko, the managing director of the bank, and Tetenete, the managing director of MC Management Services.
The accused were expected to open their defense on Thursday, July 22 at the court. However, when the case was called, counsel for Essien informed the court that he had filed a motion for a stay of proceedings to be moved on July 29. Consequently, Justice Chief Bafo adjourned the case in that regard.
In our final story, a second autopsy of the body of 14-year-old final year senior high school student Letitia Chirepna Mine in Sunyani has revealed she died from hanging. Letitia's parents, who suspected foul play in their daughter's death, requested for a second autopsy after rejecting results of an earlier autopsy.
The deceased was found hanging on a rope tied to a crossbar holding the ceiling joint at the dining hall of the Miracle Educational Academy Junior High School in Sunyani in the Bono region. The discovery was made at about 6:30 p.m. on Monday, May 17, 2021. The teacher's parents disputed she died from suicide, and their request for a second autopsy was conducted at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The teacher's body has since been released to the family.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you again with another edition. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at GraphicGH. I'm Ama Amankwa Befi.
Subscribe now.